Good day, welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's me again, Teacher Yang. For today's lesson, let's talk about traditional Asian theater music for quarter 4. Before we proceed to our discussion, make sure that you like, share and subscribe to our channel. Chinese theater. Peking opera is a form of traditional Chinese theater which combines music, vocal performance, mime, dance and acrobatics. It arose in the late 18th century and became fully developed and recognized by the mid-19th century. The form was extremely popular in the Qing dynasty court and has come to be regarded as one of the cultural treasures of China. The vocal requirements for all of the major roles were greatly reduced for Peking opera. The Zhou, in particular, rarely has a singing part in Peking opera. Unlike the equivalent role in Kung-Fu style, the melodies that accompany each play were also simplified, and are played with different traditional instruments than in earlier forms. The popularity of Peking opera has been attributed to the simplicity of the form, with only a few voices and singing patterns. This allowed anyone to sing the arias themselves. Vocal and instrumental features. Performances are accompanied by music, usually played on 3 types of instrument: wind instruments, string instruments and percussion. The main instruments are Chinese in origin. The jinghu, the 2-stringed instrument played with a bow. The yulikan, a 4-stringed instrument that is plucked. A sangxian, the 3-stringed instrument also plucked. The swanat horn, Chinese flutes and a variety of gongs and cymbals. The melodies are rhythmic and graceful. The melodies played by the accompaniment mainly fall into 3 broad categories. The first is the aria. The arias of Beijing opera can be further divided into those of the erhuang and zippy varieties. An example of an aria is Vanguardiano, an aria in the zippy style that is sung by a young shed to indicate heightened emotion. The second type of melody heard in Beijing opera is the fixed-tune melody, or kopai. These are instrumental tunes that serve a wider range of purposes than arias. Examples include the water dragon tune Shui Longyan, which generally denotes the arrival of an important person, and triple thrust Ji San Kyong, which may signal a feast or banquet. The final type of musical accompaniment is the percussion pattern. Such patterns provide context to the music in ways similar to the fixed-tune melodies. For example, there are as many as 48 different percussion patterns that accompany stage entrances. Each one identifies the entering character by his or her individual rank and personality. Theater musicians learn their parts by rote since Chinese musical notation is very imprecise. Most music used in the Peking opera has been worked out collaboratively between actors and musicians. Most is borrowed from already existing sources and recombined according to the requirements of a particular play. Although they may be classified as string, wind and percussion, the instruments of the Chinese orchestra have no counterparts in the West. The leader of the orchestra plays the drum, which establishes the time and accentuates the rhythm. Gongs, cymbals, brass cups, flutes, stringed instruments and more exotic items complete the orchestra. Songs are accompanied only by flute and strings, but entrances and exits are signaled by deafening percussion passages. Much of the onstage action is performed to a musical background. The actor's delivery of lines is rigidly controlled by conventions. Each role has its prescribed vocal timbre and pitch, and syllables are often drawn out in regard for conversational usage in order to maintain the appropriate rhythm. Even spoken passages are governed by strict rhythms and tempos. Chanted and sung passages are freely inserted into spoken monologues or dialogues. Thus lines are rendered in an extremely stylized manner. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more upcoming lessons.